Hell's Paradise, Episode 12. This one's got loads of spoilers, like something special about Sagiri and Senta fighting for the first time. But if you ain't bothered, then sit back and get ready to have a blast. Our story continues after Mudan cuts off Hoko's head. He goes on to tell Sagiri, Yuzuriha, and Senta that they are the first humans to reach Horai in like 1,000 years. Yuzuriha, with her sixth sense, knew this new enemy is no joke, so she tries to run away, but Mudan catches her and says he won't kill her yet. Sagiri also sensed the threat and demanded to know who he is. That's when Hoko reveals that Mudan is one of the Tensen. Unfortunately, cutting off Hoko will eventually turn him into a tree faster, Mudan explained, further stating that the belief Hoko and his people had of entering Horai was all a lie. In fact, the island is not a place for the afterlife, but a place for experiments on life. This is when Mudan called out some creatures he experimented with, called the Kyoshi, to hold down Yuzuriha. And about the potion they seek, called the elixir of life, it doesn't exist. So this means their journey was all for nothing, and Sagiri becomes worried for Gabimaru. Mudan tells Sagiri and Senta to let themselves be captured because he had some plans for them. And while he looked at Yuzuriha, she was not there. Instead, it's Hoko's body, and suddenly, Yuzuriha attacks and decapitates Mudan. The Kunoichi uses this opportunity to escape but notices Sagiri is spaced out because she is worried about the elixir of life, but Yuzuriha thanks her for caring and suggests they focus on staying alive by running away. That hope was dashed when Mudan comes back to life and orders the Kyoshi to attack Yuzuriha with a corrosive substance. Yuzuriha, with great reflexes, avoids the attack, and Mudan realizes she's using Tao but not at his level. Yuzuriha counters that she doesn't know Tao, but she knows what chi is. The Tensen offers to teach her, but Senta steps in, drawing his sword for the first time, to protect the criminal ninja. Of course, Mudan ignores the Asemen and continues to focus on Yuzuriha, wanting to use her for Bachujutsu. Or turn her into Tan if she can't use Tao properly. Sagiri noticed that Senta was ready to fight for a criminal, and it made Sagiri wonder if Senta had feelings for Yuzuriha. Suddenly, Sagiri, too slow to react, gets hit by Mudan, sending her flying. This attack is one of those invisible projectiles, but then Senta won't take this lying down, so he cut off both of Mudan's hands and his right leg. The Tensen warned Senta not to interfere, and Yuzuriha actually agrees with him as she whipped a Ninpo poison attack and ripped apart Mudan's body. Again, this didn't last long as he quickly regenerated and confirmed Yuzuriha's power was similar to Tao, but she wasn't using it properly. Senta sliced off the top of Mudan's head and suggested that they find a better plan to defeat him. They both attacked together, but the Tensen used Tao to sense and dodge their attacks easily, proving that their strategy was useless because he could sense their movements with Tao and that they were no match for him without mastering Tao. Now they're in a dicey, dangerous situation and they need a solution fast. So Sagiri asks Hoko for any kind of weaknesses. Hoko is still being religious, but Sagiri gives it to him straight that if we die, you won't see Mei anymore. I guess that will give him something to think about. As Mudan prepares to kill Senta, Sagiri blocks the attack, and it seems she now knows something. She throws her sword at Mudan's navel, but he remains unharmed because the samurai doesn't know how to use Tao yet. But wait. Sagiri's aura changes as she controlled her breathing and releases a vast amount of Tao and unleashes a deadly strike. Mudan is freaked out by the burst of Tao and dodges the attack, which slightly injures him. And that's not all. Yuzuriha and Senta notice that the wound is not healing. Now, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you stay in the loop on all our dope upcoming videos. When Sagiri attacked Mudan, she sensed a special energy coming from him, and she thinks it was the same energy she felt from Gabimaru and Rokuroda. Yuzuriha thinks this through and realizes they need a certain amount of Tao to defeat Mudan, and Sagiri can increase her Tao with breathing techniques. However, they wonder why Mudan can't heal himself. Mudan answers this question, in his mind of course, as he realizes that Sagiri's Tao is poisonous to him, but he's excited to know what kind of tan she'll produce. Boy, I think you should be thinking about yourself first. So Sagiri offers to handle him alone, but Senta suggests they all work together to have a better chance of winning. And this is when we got to see the best teamwork fighting in the series, rivaled only by Gabimaru and Gantetsusai's tag team battle with the Doshis. Mudan was so overwhelmed by their attacks uses Hojutsu, Tsukino no Kukiai to run away and distance himself from them. He changes to his female form and unleashes Senjutsu, Suzusashi, to have multiple Tao projectiles rain down on them, causing so much damage. While taking cover, Sagiri notices that she is almost at her limit, but a weird thing happens as Yuzuriha, who is always the first to escape any dangerous situation, encourages her to keep fighting. She believes that it is possible to defeat their enemy and tells her that she will restrain Mudan to give them the chance to kill her. Using her sticky mucus, she grabs Mudan's leg, leaving herself vulnerable to the Tensen's Tao projectiles. Although she gets hurt, Yuzuriha stands strong and fiercely fights Mudan, telling Sagiri to attack while she can. To be honest, Yuzuriha did a lot of strange things in this episode, like putting herself out there. I think it added to her character development. But I also think it's because she had no choice because she can't escape. So it's more like kill or be killed. What do y'all think? Senta comes from behind and restrains the Tensen, giving Sagiri the chance to strike Mudan's weak point and end him. After the battle, Sagiri goes to Hoko and worries about his condition, but he assures her that he's fine. She tries to make sense of everything and she's worried about the elixir of life not existing, but Yuzuriha believes they'll figure out a way, maybe even giving the golden statues in exchange for their lives. Then Sagiri asks Senta if he has feelings for Yuzuriha. He's embarrassed and explains that he's actually envious of her freedom because he was forced to serve the Yamada clan instead of pursuing his dream as an artist. Sagiri understands him as she feels the same way about Gabimaru. She suggests they find everyone on the island and work together to leave, which Senta agrees to. Meanwhile, Gabimaru is trying to get better at Tao, but he's not there yet and he can't ask the Doshi about the elixir of life because they're dead. So Fuchi suggests asking Mei, but Gantetsusai thinks it's not fair to burden her because of what the Doshi had done to her. Instead, Gabimaru thanks Mei for saving him and wants to repay her. This got Fuchi thinking about the change in Gabimaru's behavior and wonders how it will affect his goal. Suddenly, Gabimaru starts bleeding from his nose and faints, which surprises everyone. Back to the Horai, Yuzuriha saw Mudan's lifeless body and noticed flowers growing from it. She quickly pointed out to Sagiri and Senta. Suddenly, a stinger came out of the flowers, aiming for Yuzuriha. But Senta bravely pushed her aside and got stung instead. As Senta was stung, flowers started blooming on his head, and he fell into a strange trance, dreaming of drawing Yuzuriha. Sagiri was overcome with fear and fell to her knees as Mudan transformed into a Kishikai, asking Yuzuriha what they should do. Again, for the first time, Yuzuriha doesn't know what to do as she lost hope in fighting the Tensen once again. They were defenseless as more flower stingers attacked them, but just when things seemed hopeless, Shion appeared just in time and cut down the stingers. And the episode ends here. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe bell to get even more kick-ass content. So stay tuned for more.